Welcome to this video tutorial from spssvideotutor.com. I'm Jacob Mays, and today I'm going to demonstrate how to perform and interpret a one-sample t-test. In this example, we have a classroom of 18 students and the number of absences for all 18 students last year. We want to see if there is a significant difference in the average number of absences in this classroom compared to the average number of absences in the entire state. Okay, so the average number of absences in the entire state is 15. So in order to determine this, we go to Analyze, we go to Compare Means, and then we go to One Sample t-test. Okay, we move the variable of interest, the test variable, into the test variables box, and then we put our test value here in this box. So since our test value is 15, the value that we're comparing our average to, then we put it there. We go to Options, make sure that's on 95, exclude cases pairwise, and then we click Continue, and then we click OK. Now, the first table that we see in the output file is the one sample statistics that contains the mean, standard deviation, and the standard error of the mean, okay, along with the number of respondents in the analysis. So we know that the mean number of absences in the classroom is 29.44, okay? Then we go down to the one samples test table. Our test value is 15. Our t-value is 5.077, or once you write your results, it would become 5.10, okay, because that you would round it off to the second decimal point. Your degrees of freedom is 17, and your mean difference is 14.44. Now, the most important thing here is the significance level. Because this is less than 0.05, that means that there is a significant difference between the mean number of absences in the classroom and the test value. Okay, so basically you would state that the mean number of absences in the classroom is significantly greater than the mean number of absences in the state. Okay, now you know how to perform a one sample t-test in SPSS. Okay, so when you're writing your results for the one sample t-test in APA format, the first thing you want to do is to state the analysis that you performed as well as the statistical test that you used to perform the analysis. Okay, a one sample t-test was performed to determine if the mean number of student absences during a school year in a classroom was significantly different from the mean number of student absences statewide. The mean number of absences statewide was 15. Okay, so after that you state what the criterion value is, and that is 15 for the statewide absences. Okay, now the next thing you want to do is you want to describe the independent and dependent variables. Okay, so in this case the independent variables are school classroom and all the classroom in the state. Those are the two groups that you're comparing. The independent variables are the school classroom and all the classrooms in the state. The dependent variable is student absences. Okay, next you want to state the null and alternative hypothesis for your analysis. The null hypothesis for this analysis states that there is no significant difference between the mean number of student absences in a classroom and the mean number of absences statewide. The alternative hypothesis states that there is a significant difference between the mean number of student absences in a classroom and the mean number of absences statewide. Okay, now I've laid this out in statistical notation, but you will not include this in your write-up. Some professors ask for this, so I just added it just as something to have. But typically you don't include this notation in your write-up. Okay, now Then you get into the actual reporting of results. The results indicated that there was a significant difference between the mean number of absences in the classroom. You state the mean and the standard deviation, and 15, which is a criterion value. Then you write a comma, and then you write the t, the degrees of freedom in parentheses, the actual t value, and the p value. Okay? Now, again, if the significance value in your SPSS output is 0.000, then you write p is less than 0.001 according to APA. All right. Now, if it is greater than 0.000, then you write the actual p value here. So if it were 0.02, then you would write p equals 0.02. Okay. After that, you state the 95% confidence interval. Okay, the 95% confidence interval for the mean of classroom absences was 8.44 to 20.45. Okay, you can get this right off of the output file in SPSS. The effect size Cohen's d of 1.2 indicated a large effect as the differences between the two mean scores was large. Okay, and I will show you how I calculated that from the effect size calculator that I created. From the results, we see that student absences in the classroom were far more frequent than the average number of absences across all classrooms in the state. As such, we reject the null hypothesis. Okay? Now, let me show you how I calculated this Cohen's d effect size. So here, Cohen's d is equal to t over the square root of n, which is, and n is the sample size for your analysis. And t, of course, is the t value. And what Cohen's d tells us is the degree to which the mean scores on the test are different from each other. Okay, so it just tells you how vast the difference is. All right. Now, here we have a value of 1.2. And if we look at our table, we see that 1.2 is in the large range, okay? So the way that we interpret this is as follows. There is a large difference between the mean scores on the test variable, which is the classroom mean, and the test value, okay? Then we go down to the one sample t-test table, APA formatted. We have the mean standard deviation. We have classroom here. And we've got the t value, the degrees of freedom, the p value, okay, the mean difference, and the 95% confidence interval. Okay, you can download this and use this table and expand it to meet your needs. All right.
If you have any questions, please submit them to help@spssvideotutor@gmail.com. This has been a video tutorial from spssvideotutor.com. Thank you for watching and much success with SPSS.